thank you for joining me on my channel. Thank you for watching my shorts. I really appreciate it. For those who have been following all the shorts, I've been working on this wood box. I took an old grill and converted it from a grill to a wood box to store wood. Here's a brief recap of everything I've done. Well, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that recap. I didn't have everything in there from every short, but I figured it gave you a gist. The work I put into converting this grill into a wood box maybe could have been finished in one good Saturday. But I work a full-time job and I do have other responsibilities. So, as you see here, I got two stoves. They're camping stoves. The larger one behind me has been proven. It works and it puts out a ton of heat. The little guy, I just recently got that about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm gonna test it out, see if it's actually a good system to use in a tent and safe to use. Yes, it was made by China, so I want to make sure before I take it out to a camping trip. So that's a future video you guys can look forward to. I have a large bell tent that these two wood stoves go into. Now we got the wood box to feed them in a safe manner, also keeping the wood away from any sparks. I have fire retardant drop cloths I put underneath it and behind it help prevent fire. So those are a couple of videos you can look forward to. I still got to field test a new tent, so I'll set it up for you guys. See what goes into setting up a hot tent. And I hope you guys enjoy that video or short. Not sure which way I'm going to go with it yet. For the most part, I focus on shorts. I speed up the footage so you guys can see as much as possible. I have been tinkering with the format and whatnot. And eventually I'll get it down pat. I'm still new to YouTube. I am a professional instructor, also a mentor other tradesmen. So this is a little new to me. Additional future projects, I will be doing the expansion and fine tuning of the rain barrels for those of you who've seen the short or video about that. Tool maintenance and restoration. That's another set of videos. Automotive maintenance and restoration. Taking that last topic as a segue, here's a little hint on the next long form or a long-standing project. I have a 1982 K5 Blazer. Unfortunately, I live in a HOA. They're getting kind of on my butt about it parked in the driveway, even though I have a car cover covering it up. So I'll be eventually getting the doors all stripped down, primed, and ready to go. That's after I disassemble them, fully disassemble them, take all the parts off. I'll also be taking the tailgate / back window assembly apart and bringing it in. And basically anything I can pull off the truck and get done inside of the garage before I bring the whole truck in, I'm going to get done. I still got to buy pieces of equipment so I can transport it, move it from the driveway to the garage, shoehorn it in here. It's probably going to be an interesting video, but we can get it done. I measured everything. I just got to do a little bit more fine tuning on organizing the garage before I can do that. Once the truck's in here, I got about 4 to 5 months to get all the old rust, corrosion, anything that's rotted on it, removed, replaced, welded in, and then primed. Then I'm going to paint it, assemble all the body pieces until so it looks finished, even though the engine and transmission will not be inside. And then I can put it back outside, and then the HOA should not have any more complaints because it'll look like a complete drivable ready vehicle. I'll be redoing the whole wiring harness, which thank God that it is a 1980s vehicle. Because if it was a modern vehicle, that would be a bee's nest I do not want to kick. You know, it's just very simple. You got ignition, you got lights, and that's about it. Not a lot of electrical. There's the AC system. I apologize for the background noise. It's actually on heat right now because it's 43 degrees outside here in Texas. But yes. Now, with all that said, I know we'll be having a lot of content on the Blazer in the future or auto maintenance, because I still got to keep up on our everyday drivers. This is not going to be an auto channel. It's just going to be a channel for, you know, self-reliance, so that way you don't have to spend money all the time to get things done. Now, granted, there are some things I have to pay someone to do. I either don't have the room, space, or the specific tools, and because it's a one-off thing, I might not want to put an investment on that tool. I buy tools generally that I'm going to use consistently, a minimum of 4 to 5 times a year. Now, in my career field, HVAC, because I teach and I still do work, yes, there will be tools I use a lot and I end up having to replace them a lot. My tool selection is generally what is reliable and affordable to replace. You will see me use some lower end tools from Harbor Freight. That's generally because I don't do that activity a lot and I don't see the worth of investing that kind of money into those tools. Where tools I use regularly and consistently, I will spend more money on. I'll get a bigger name brand or something along those lines. It all depends on how much I'm going to use it. My recommendation on tools is use what you like. I'm not going to knock any tool company. They all have their place, you know. So when it comes to power tools, you guys have noticed I use DeWalt. I use DeWalt because they're reliable, they hold up good, and I pretty much get my money out of it. I might spend, if you take on how many days I end up using these tools throughout a year, impact with batteries might cost me about $250. And I generally, before I have to replace that tool again, I'll be spending maybe 25 cents or less a day before I have to replace it. So that's like, yeah, I get a couple of years worth of use out of it. Where would I use Harbor Freight in my HVAC career? Probably not. I don't think they'll last long enough, and they generally don't. In a pinch, if that's all I can get a hold of, yeah, I'll use it. But yeah, you'll notice with my welders and stuff, they're generally the lower end, because my electric welders I don't use regularly. My gas torches, because I braze for HVAC, I generally have a nicer set. And that's about it. There are going to be plenty of videos as I get the materials and equipment and whatnot. I'll be continuously doing all kinds of projects between improving my thermal load in my house, so that way I don't have to use as much energy to heat or cool my house. Some outdoor camping, or glamping I guess people call it, so you can have a nice comfortable camping trip. My wife likes to be comfortable, so that's where I go. If I'm on my own, I got a much smaller tent. It normally can fit in the backpack, and I can easily walk miles with it. Compared to this, good luck, unless you're a super professional. There are content I cannot show you on YouTube, and why you can see firearms and stuff like that. I like to build my own. I just can't show you how to build it on YouTube, but I can show you the final result of that kind of project when I go to a gun competition and stuff like that. Now, I am not a tactical tier 1 guy. I mainly do competitions to stay practice. I use my ranking to determine if my practice on my own, dry fire, draw, etc., has been sufficient enough. So if I end up going up in a ranking, generally that's a good thing. If I go down, then I guess I gotta work on it a little bit more. It also gives you a little bit of pressure testing of yourself to see how well you can go when there's some more pressure on a line other than a standard static range. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my channel so far. I really appreciate it. If you have any constructive criticism, feel free to pop it down in the comments. I really appreciate it, and maybe you'll point out something I can improve myself with. Thank you. Airborne out.